just experimenting, do it yourself. I've got the Hyper 10, this short course chuck. It's a Hyper. It's basically, I'm using it for parts and whatnot. The Hyper 10, I can't remember what it's called, you know what I mean? Hoboa anyway. Anyway, the diff is, that's the diff that come out of it. One sec. Let me see the name of this bloody car, man. The Hyper 10 SC, that's it. Hyper 10 SC, diff here. I'm just basically experimenting, trying to see if got me Maverick here, innit? This is the Maverick center diff. That's the 46 tooth spur gear that come out of it. You see how the holes are bigger where I use the wood screws and shit. You know what I mean? Let's turn this light off, man. Yeah, where I use the wood screws, the holes are bigger. So what I did was basically shoe glue the bloody thing. Shoe glue the holes in it. Strapped it together and whatnot. Put the screws on. But because the screws are only whatever size, these are the screws that come out of the Maverick. You find the hole was still big. So I basically put shoe glue around the holes, let it set for a few days and whatnot. Basically turning the diff and whatnot, turn it upside down, make sure there's no leakage and whatnot. But I can't set the mesh. I can't really set the mesh on this, you know what I mean? So a couple of tooth are stripped on this spur gear anyway. So yeah, you see there, teeth are missing on the spur gear. So I don't know if that's why I couldn't set the mesh, but a couple of tooth are missing. So anyway, I'm trying to see if this spur gear will fit. Obviously I'm gonna have to take out the planetary gears and shit in it, you know what I mean? Yeah, swap the planetary gears over. This is the Maverick planetary gears. Swap it over. Let's see if you can do that now, man, and just temporarily see if it will fit. Take this gear off. Swap. No, one sec. Yeah. That gear, that's the Hyper. And put this gear onto this diff. Put that gear onto the diff. Onto the Hyper 10 SC. This diff. Oh, problem. These are both 10 scale, so I think I've come across a problem now. I can't seem to fit the planetary gear on this thing. What's going on here? Yeah, this slot there is too small. Unless I can use a smaller pin. This is the hyper planetary gear. Fits in there. I'm gonna have to get a smaller pin here, so this will fit. You see, the difference? The slot on the hyper 10SC is longer, whereas the Maverick, you see, the slot is shorter, so I'll have to swap the pins around. I'll have to take this pin out, take the pin off here, take this pin off, and get a shorter pin and see. Yeah, if it don't work, it don't work, man. If it don't work, I'll just get some couple more spur gears and crap. Nylon spur gears, a 46 tooth and a 49 tooth for the Maverick. So yeah, but the holes seem to line up. I've already tried it. I've got the pin. I took the pin out of this thing, man. But the holes, they seem to line up on a Maverick. Take this off, this gasket, if I can, without tearing it. It looks like it's, oh, hang on. Yeah, just, it's sealed on there, man. And this center diff, this Hyper 10S SC center diff was playing up. I think that's why I had problems with the car, man. The diff was, I think there's something wrong with this diff anyway, man. That's why I was having problems with the car. I thought it was the rear. Shit, I thought it was the rear end, but it's actually the diff. Well, I think it is. When it was all sealed, I was spinning the diff round and it didn't feel right. Maybe it don't look like there's oil in this. Yeah, anyway, I've got this gasket. Put the gasket onto the Maverick. The holes, you see the holes? The holes sort of marry up. Yeah, the holes are marrying up. Well, sort of, yeah. Yeah, the holes marry up. So, put this diff on. Although I've taken out the pin and that and the planetary gear, in it. This hyper planetary gear won't work. It's not worth putting this planetary gear on because look at the difference. So it won't work. No point using. This is the hyper planetary gear, the top part. This is the Maverick. Maverick is thicker and bigger, so I need to get a smaller pin. I ain't got no pins on available at the moment. I have to search for pins after this vid. So yeah, pop this on here. This is the Hyper 10SC spur gear. I think the holes do marry up. They do. Look, you know, I'm holding the GoPro and I got a flashlight as well, innit? So yeah, but they marry up. So but I need to change out the bearing from the Maverick. Yeah, well, yeah, put the bearing on, swap out the bearings, because the bearings are small on the Hyper 10SC, and you can see the difference. The bearings are smaller, man, on the Hyper 10SC. So I need to swap the bearings out. This is the Maverick bearing, Hyper 10SC bearing. See, they're smaller. So yeah, anyway, as I say, if it don't work, it don't work, and I'll order the couple of spare gears and whatnot for the Maverick and stuff. So anyway, enough of that. Switch this off.